When I was in law school, I took a class on legal writing. I'll never forget. The professor walks in the first day and he says, "My job is to make your sentences lean. No extra words, no fat." So we would write these papers. It'd take us forever. We'd hand them in. The next day he'd come back and he would say, "Before I even mark them, I want everyone to take your papers and take out 2 words per sentence." We're like, "We create 2 words per sentence? Like, you know how long it took us to write this?" And you'd sit there and have to figure out how to take out 2 words. But you learned. Lean. No extra words. This week's Torah portion. God commands the Jewish people to get oil in the tabernacle, then ultimately temple. There was a part of it called the Ner Tamid, constant flame. Never went out. God says, "I want you to put pure olive oil so that there's a constant flame." And when he commands the Jewish people to do that, he says, "Take shemen zayit, pure olive oil." And then he adds 2 words that really don't belong there. Kasis lamaor, crushed for illumination, la'alos ner tamid, to raise up this eternal flame. But the words kasis lamaor, crushed for illumination, is totally irrelevant. Who cares how they're crushed? You go to a store, you ask for olive oil. You're not like, "Hey, how are these? How are the oils crushed on this thing?" Like, it's olive oil. It's crushed. The guys were listening to music. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know how it was crushed. It was crushed. Like, I don't know. You crush the oil. I don't know. It goes to like a press, and out comes oil. If we have olive oil, then we use it to light the candles. Like, who cares about the production process? So I want to share with you a concept. Olives represent something. They represent bitterness. They're a bitter fruit. The Talmud tells us that olive represents the bitterness, the suffering, the challenge that somebody goes through. Grapes represent the good times. It's a sweet fruit. Wine, different story. Olives are the challenges. The Torah is teaching us something very powerful. Olives, bitter fruit, bitter times, challenging times. From challenging times comes a flammable liquid that can be lit up constantly. You want to know how you have an eternal flame, an eternal fire? You want to know how you can live on fire? It's how you look at challenges. Because every time there's a challenge in your life, understand that in that challenge is a liquid that's flammable. And every time you go through a challenge in your life, understand that in you is a fire. It's called your soul, that you're going to extract more of to deal with the challenge. You have to find more resilience and more kindness and more patience and more belief. You can't do it. You're going to have to. So you drag out your flame. And if every time you see any challenge, you should never have pain, we should never have suffering. If any time you see any challenge as an opportunity to extract the liquid that's going to light you up, you're going to live a life where you are an eternal flame. You're always on fire. But you know how you do it? Remember, God commanded the Jewish people to get the oil, kasis lamaor, crushed for illumination. He's saying, when you crush it, have in mind that it's going to illuminate. Because when God gives you a challenge, you need to know that it's in order to illuminate you. Challenges are not random. Challenges are not because. Challenges are specifically designed to bring out the flame in all of us. We may not understand it. We may not get it for 5 years, 50 years, or till the next lifetime. God is telling us, you're the pure olive oil. And when you feel that you're getting crushed, when you feel the challenges come at you, understand, I am doing it lamaor, in order to illuminate. It's intentional. It's purposeful. Nothing is happening to you ever just because. I can't tell you why sometimes, but trust me. If I'm making my people crush those olives in order to illuminate my candles, it's a metaphor for you. The bitterness, the suffering that you're going through, the challenges that you're facing is intentionally designed to illuminate you and to make you an eternal flame. Viktor Frankl in Logotherapy, Man's Search for Meaning, speaks about how it's meaning that gets you through challenges. And part of what it means to be of faith is to never forget that we're not going through anything that is not designed for our greatness. And just the fact that we're going through something, there's meaning to it, even if I don't know what that meaning is. So that when we deal with challenges, we recognize that within that challenge is an intentional reason, and within that challenge, there is the ability for it to raise me up and to light me up to becoming my own version of an internal flame.